All right. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live Asian session. I'm your host, Benny Allen, for tonight's session, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And as always, we are so happy and grateful for each and every one of you being here with us this evening as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals in the Forex market to see what we can take advantage of. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions. Grab a pen and paper for notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. So if everybody's ready to go and you can hear me loud and clear, drop me a 1 in the chat, and we can get things going for tonight's session. Awesome. Good evening, Treva. Good day, David. Good evening, Ramon. All right, Antoine, Beverly, Mary. Okay, so let's go. So, I know we went over some of those smaller setups last night. Was anybody able to take advantage of those? Drop me a 2 in the chat if you were able to catch some pips off of some of those smaller setups. Grace, Mary, okay. Beverly, all right, awesome, okay. So, a lot of people, good. Okay, so it's good to know how to, the ins and outs, and sometimes you have to switch gears, especially, hey, there's been a lot of craziness in the market back and forth. As we talked about the wash machine effect, things are just bouncing back and forth. Bulls and the bears fighting it out because of all the things that are happening fundamentally, but there's always plays that you can make in this market. Okay, you just have to continue to work and develop the skill set so that you see it, right? At some point, you spend so much time on the charts, it just clicks and everything will become slow motion for you, right? Then it comes down to just becoming a good money manager. So I know a lot of you, hopefully all of you, a lot sooner than later, right, will be definitely heading in that direction and get to that point, because that's our goal, right, is to help you to become consistently profitable and to help you to compress time frames and shorten that learning curve. All right, so hopefully you can avoid some of the pitfalls that we went through early on. So I'm glad to see that people had some success with those and with some of the other trade setup. Glad to see people catching pips in the market, whether you're live account or demo, whether you're trading micro lots or standard lots, doesn't matter. Your journey is your journey, as Ryan always says. So with that being said, let's take a look at the Forex factory. And things are starting to grind a bit. We're heading into the holiday, right? You see here, you had a holiday, okay? And, here we're heading into Memorial Day weekend. The market's starting to slow down. A lot of people are off tomorrow. And we're at the end of the month, okay? We're at month end. So it's been a lot of things this month. Been a busy month of May. But tomorrow, Friday the 27th, we do have personal consumption expenditures, core PCE. Okay, so we had the report earlier. Okay, core CPI. Now we're looking at core PCE, which measures the goods and the rate and change in the price of goods and services consumed by individuals, you and me. Okay, and they take out food and energy. Okay, because those are pretty volatile. So this is a some people say it's cleaner data, more real because of the effects that food and energy can have, and it can be erratic and kind of sway the numbers a bit. So this is going to be important when tomorrow the forecast is 0.3%. So if anything comes in above that, right, that could possibly be bullish for the dollar because you're looking at inflationary information, and that's technically supposed to be good for a currency, but we will see about that. And other than that, pretty light day. We do got some retail sales numbers coming through for the Aussie here at 9:30. So even though that's not highlighted as being super important, we could see some volatility considering what's been going on. So with that being said, let's take a look at the dollar. Baron, good evening. Let's take a look at the dollar because it is sitting right back at a key level that we all need to be focused on as we watch these markets start to grind and move sideways a bit. And so if we look at this dollar, we can see that it is pressing right back at this daily support level where we got a major move to the upside. And so this is going to be key to see where this closes. If it holds above this level and we start to get buyers coming into the market, moving into the holiday weekend, it's going to be interesting with that PCE report tomorrow to see if it generates any type of reaction either to the upside or the downside. So if you come down to, we'll take a look at the 4, and you can see where it's revisiting this area. Okay, clean potential double bottom there. We know we got a ton of price action to the upside. Okay, recent history, don't have to go far back, just look left a little bit, and this is where the dollar exploded, right? We got that huge upside move back up to this resistance level. So if we come down to the 1 where we had our crown, you can see, oops, that's the daily. You have to see, right? I've got my trend line deployed, so I'm watching that closely. See if we can break trend line and get back above this 1266 level here to see how it's going to react. So tomorrow's report is important to see if it pushes the dollar either way, but you see it's just teetering here at support. Okay, so really watch that. Okay? As the dollar goes, so does a ton of other things, with it being the world's reserve currency. So this is a key level to watch for tomorrow. So what time does that come out? That is at 8:30 a.m. on a Friday. So we may see some action on a Friday depending on how that report comes out. So that is something that you want to have on your radar. Okay. And so what I want to do is I want to look at some of the USD pairs. Okay. Take a look at some of the Euro USD, the USD pairs, including the Euro USD, just to see and look at how they're coming into key levels. So we're going to start out with the Aussie dollar and then just work our way through. Okay, we know where the key support level on the dollar. We know that it's fallen off, it's corrected back down to this level. Now I want you guys to look at the price action and where we are in regards to, okay, the dollar versus other currencies. So this is your Aussie dollar move. We're moving right up into a sweet spot. Okay. If you come to the daily, need to adjust that a bit. Like so. We know we've already got that 50% pullback up against resistance, and now we've got another correction. So we know if that dollar strengthens tomorrow, we may see a trend line starting to break on the Aussie dollar and it push back down to the downside here. Okay, so just watch them closely, right? We get in these phases. We've had these impulse moves to the downside, and we've got a correction. Price likes to find that C. We prefer for it to be high in the zone so we can get a really good reward to risk on this play. And now we're sitting right around that 50, in between that 50 and that 61.8. Okay, so we'll see what happens. The dollar starts to fall tomorrow, it breaks that support. You may see this continue to the upside, okay? Because we can see here that stock market today, Dow's in rally mode as retailers show fight, tech shines, right? So we've got some positive news out of the tech sector. I had to read more about that. Didn't have a ton of time to read today. And then we see the VIX is just coming down slowly but surely. So we're at 18.49. If we go to trading economics, US stocks close higher for the second day. We see that crude oil rises to above 114. So we're remaining bullish on oil. All right, so European shares rise for the second session. Okay, so pending home sales fall for the 6 month. That's, hey, mortgage rates are going up. Okay, we posted that in a Facebook group today. So that's not a surprise there. Okay, so that can slow down some of that demand and what's been going on in the housing market. So this is the Aussie dollar. We can see, okay, price is just correcting and moving, correcting and moving. This is the one that I brought down, and it's just moving to the upside. Of course, in a correction, right? Smaller time frame is going to make up ABCD waves. So we'll continue to watch that one. So make sure you have that on your radar, especially with the news coming tomorrow. All right. Any questions on the Aussie dollar? All right. Okay. Pretty clean cut. We're coming in a month in. Right. Not a whole lot out there, but we do have some things lining up as we go into the next month. So we just want to be patient. So we'll go next to the euro dollar. Okay. And this one I got pegged on the 15 as it's climbing, right? You can do the same with all the pairs. So if we move out and we look at the daily, we're still climbing out of the zone, but we're breaking through this 107,300. Okay, so it may be correction time. Okay, so we know that, hey, that's the path potentially, long-term target. We're right at this 107, back in this B boundary zone. Okay, acting as resistance now potentially. And so after a huge move up like this, which I know some of you took advantage of that Euro USD to the upside over 300 pips, at some point it may be ready to correct. So we have to watch out for that. So let me put my my template on and look at the stochastic on this. We are almost 100% overbought. Okay, almost 100% overbought. So we may be due for a correction at least. Again, dollar sitting at key support, the DXY. All right, we know it's just the inverse. The Euro USD is the inverse of that DXY because the DXY is heavily weighted with the Euro, over 50%. So you see how the DXY was sitting at a key support level. This is now at a key resistance level. It's just like flipping it over. It's like a mirror, okay, in reverse. So we know that we're overbought from a daily time frame. So that's a little bit of confirmation there. We got a break above the 20 on a higher time frame. It's a break. So we may be due for a bit of a correction. So I'll go and hinge on that dollar. If we come to the 4 hour, look at what we're coming into. You come into a 4 hour at 382. That was a huge move. Textbook 80-20 play there. And it just kept going. Okay, so that trade is up big, back to 107. If you run these sub fibs on this 4, okay, the crown didn't hold. We thought we might get a correction back to the downside, but we never got a trend line break to get lower on that really slight one on the lower time frame, depending if you played it on the 15. There was a smaller play on that, but it didn't last long. Price rebounded and it's continuing right to this zone. So when I look at, okay, your 1, okay, we had the potential crown pattern there. Didn't really help for a second. You got the break, right? You got the break. It was slight. Okay, there was a smaller play on that, 30-some pips, but then it just took right back off, which is fine, So we're getting up around this level again. Okay, here's a key level here, potential for your double top. Maybe it goes beyond that and pushes. So what you could do, knowing that we've got the PCE report coming out tomorrow that may affect the dollar, you just deploy your trend lines here on your 15. Okay. And you just wait. You just wait for it. Let the trade come to you. Okay. Yeah. It's a correction to the downside, but it just kept pushing up throughout the day. So continue to monitor their Euro USD. Any questions? right? Just see it in your head. I've got the DXY, I've got the dollar sitting right back at key support, where it was last time before it made a huge bullish push to the upside. And now I'm looking at all these dollar pairs, right? So if my dollar is my counter currency and it strengthens, you're going to look for that base currency to get weak, okay, with the exchange, and then vice versa. Okay, so if your dollar is the lead and it's the base and it strengthens, you're going to look for it to get strong against whatever the counter currency is tomorrow. Okay, so we want to go down and we want to look at the pound dollar. You see again, I'm sitting here, I got everything set up on the 15 in case we get a reaction in the zone. And so you look, come here. Remember, right? This is why we do our prep. Okay. Me too. I'm waiting on that Euro USD too, right? Especially since I want to get back bearish on that Euro anyway. I'm right with you on that one. Right with you on that one. So here we are. Look, when you mark it up, your zones, and you know where you are, you can take advantage of the swings. So look, key support zone, we got the reaction. And now we're pushing right back up to this 126.57 on the pound dollar. So if we come back to the daily, there's that level, right? There's that level. Okay. There's that level. Good news tomorrow. And then here's the zone. Okay. Right here. Now, we're not quite to this 4-hour 382 yet. Not there. Doesn't mean that it won't eventually get there, but we, hey, might get that correction, right? Let me check check this level. I love checking the stochastic on the daily level. See where we are, right? 97% overbought. Okay, overbought. All right. So there's the potential. There's the potential. Doesn't really help you time anything, but it tells you, right, that we've been buying for a while. It's made a good run. Maybe time for it to come down. Maybe. Okay. Same thing, just like that Euro USD, you got your break above the 20. Okay. So nice bullish action. Now we're coming right into resistance. Now, here's your 4, right into that zone. Here's a high. So if I didn't have anything, right? I didn't have anything on this chart. Okay. Turn the lights out. Didn't have anything on here. I know, right? That's a level that I'm going to pay attention to. Okay. This zone. I want to pay attention to this zone. Okay. See it there? See if we get a reaction. It may be a temporary reaction, but it's a pound pair. So a temporary reaction could be 100 pips, right? Fast. Okay, because of the ATR. So we know stair steps, right? Here's a high, here's a high, here's a high, here's a high. Just climbing the stairs. We know that oftentimes it likes to take it out, pull back, score a point, pull back. Okay. So we'll see how it plays out. Okay. But we are in a key zone. So if you go down to your 15, for those type of plays that we were looking at last night, this is how you spot them. Okay, this is how you spot them. And you just be patient. Right? Be patient. If you're away, put your alarm on. Put your alarm on. Set it to come to your email. Right? Crossing down. Okay. Once every minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however you want to be notified. Crossing down equals however you want to do it. Set it to come to your email or your phone or both. But if you do that, leave your computer on. You got to leave your computer on and let your computer go to standby, as it won't send a signal. Okay, it won't send the alarm signal when it comes across this trend line. So this is where we are. And just like we talked about last night, if you get the break, you decide how you want to play. You want to be aggressive, take it right off the trend line break, or let it break, push down, and try to play the pullback. Okay. You can put your stop in the same place no matter what. up above the high prior to the trend line break. Okay. So that's a potential setup there on the pound dollar. Any questions on this? That's a great question, Jeremy. Depends on what your lifestyle is in the beginning. Especially I would remark up my charts every week, all pairs, right? That's how I got so fluent at it. Repetition is the mother of all skill. We always say that. Once you know what you're doing, right, then you could come down, hey, twice a month, remarket, redo all your charts, clear them all out, redo them. But in the beginning, I would just rep it out, redo everything. Now, every week though, I still go through and I make sure that I should go from the top down to see if there's any new support or resistance levels that have been created. So while I might not every single week go through and redo and clear it out, like I said, I usually do that twice a month now. Primarily, sometimes more, depends on how crazy the market has been. But I know I make sure every single week I sit down, typically on a Friday, and I go through to check to see if there's any new levels that's been created. Okay, so great question, because that's definitely something you want to make part of your trade plan. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. So that's where we are on that. So just watch it. Be patient. Be patient. Okay. And the key is, if it's your setup, take your setup. Use proper risk management. Right. We win some, we lose some, but your edge will play out in a positive for you at the end of the day if you're consistently doing the right things. All right. Pull the trigger on the trade. Okay. Be addicted to the process, not the outcome. All right. So that's the pound dollar. So I want to go and take a look at your NZD USD. Look at how high that's pushing in the zone. It's pushing in the zone. So if we come here, we know, right? We're still on this path. Okay, we're still on this path. A, B, C, weekly D extension. Formed a low. We're pushing back up to retest that B boundary that it broke. Okay, retest it again. You got a slight test there. And now we're coming right back up to that level. Okay, so if we come to the daily, A, B, C, trying to get to that D. This is a long drawn out move. I put a sub fib on there. But again, we're coming to retest this level. We just broke through this level. This was support that was acting as resistance. Didn't hold for long. Price pushed right back up. Okay, now we're coming back to 50% of this last impulse move. So as that dollar settles in at that support, right, we start to see, hey, what's going on? Here we are on the 4. This is your 4. It's grinding up. So does it make it to this level? We'll see. We'll see tomorrow. Fundamentals. Okay, no technical framework that I ever stand in the way of a strong fundamental catalyst. So if it's time for this to roll back to the downside, it's going to be time for it to roll back to the downside, or it can continue to push up. Tomorrow will let us know a lot about that. That's what I'm hoping. All right. I need some price action because the market is grinding as we close out the month. So I need to know either way what it wants to do. I need some of these pairs to break loose. And here you are on the 1, pretty high in the zone on the smaller wave. Okay. So if we come down to the 15, adjust this one a little bit, fit my price action. Technically, this is cool because this is your last high right here. It made your high, but I want to leave it like that. Okay. Slight adjustment on that trend line. Okay. You see, we're kind of grinding sideways. So just continue to watch it. The market will tell us. Market will tell us. No need to guess. Let the market tell you what it wants to do. Okay. If you get a break and you get, if it's something that's outside of the forecast, either a miss below or it comes in above, okay, and say it comes in and it beats expectations and you get that strong push down and you miss it, don't try to catch it at that point. Okay? Just let the trade come back to you. It'll eventually come back. It loves to pull back off of those strong impulse moves. Okay, so just be patient, or if you miss it, you just miss it. It is what it is, but don't get yourself trapped. Okay, don't get yourself trapped. So that's the NZD USD. Any questions on that one? No, we're good. So you see if you just follow these pairs, right? So it's not like the stock market. We're not looking at a whole lot of pairs or companies or anything like that. Just a few things you need to master and get down and put yourself in a really good position to take advantage of things. Okay, so that's where we are. Let's continue to see if that correction wants to continue higher, right? And we know, hey, that's fine too. We know how to play those as well high in the zone. Okay, it's a beautiful swing. Some of us may be long off these B2C moves, which is a beautiful thing. Okay. Just know, hey, we got news tomorrow. Manage the trade. That's up 240 pips or so off the swing, wherever you took the trend line break. So we know that a lot of people have been involved in these type moves on these corrections with the dollar dropping off, which is beautiful. Just know now that, hey, we've got some moving into a pretty good position. That price may go the other way depending on the news. So we'll take a look at this UCAD, and we're just pushing down. This one is kind of a weird one, right? Because the Canadian dollar is strengthening too. We saw the oil price, right? We saw that on Trade and Economics where we saw oil rises above 114. Okay, so the impact with the PCE coming out, we'll see. Could be shaky with this pair, right, tomorrow. But we can see here just on the price action on the one that it'll be beautiful where this is now. Maybe it creeps on back down to that extension, hits that extension, because now look, 1, 2, 3, that'll be 4th time at this level. Okay, so we'll see overnight what happens with that as oil continues to strengthen in the market. So we'll see what the timing is as it relates to where this pair is tomorrow when the news comes out at 8:30. Okay. So that's a quick one there, the dollar CAD. We know what's been going on. So we marked this up over the weekend, and I had some ideas. Now, I don't know, is anybody playing this UCAD, this B2C move short? I didn't play it at all. No. Yeah, I kind of left the UCAD alone with this range, the way it broke the range and came back down in the range. So I didn't play it. Just kind of been leaving it alone. But I've got some levels marked up here, sell below. So we'll see. That's that key level here that we just saw on the lower time frame. But that's been a good move to the downside. All right, then we got some buy levels there. So we'll see. This one, these buy levels could be in play depending on how that report comes out tomorrow. But right now, I'm not doing anything with it. So that's the UCAD. You can draw your trend line to the downside and just wait to see how things play out on that one. So there. Okay. That's it on the UCAD. I want to go and check the dollar Swissy, which this one has just been, you got the initial break and then it's back down right now. So it was pretty coming off this 15. It was able to catch a pretty good move off that trend line break. I think that was 30 something pips before we got it closed out. At its high point there, it's 34. It was 20 there. Didn't give us too much, but it went into the outer trend line and broke above, and then it just started to fall off. Well, hey, just know that tomorrow, big report coming out, Here's that low on the 15. So maybe it pushes down and it settles in around here, and the dollar strengthens, is going to move up. Okay, I can eliminate these now. That play is over. Didn't push all the way to the 382 like I'd like, but okay, some decent price action. So we'll clean that out there, and there, take that stop out, and we'll leave this support like so. Okay. So key level there to see what happens. So it's amazing, I don't know, at least it is to me, how things align, right? We've got the DXY coming into that key support level where it got a strong reaction last time. And we've got prices on the other pairs setting up where they are. Okay. Pretty cool to watch. So why isn't the support the C? On this 15-minute fib, this is broken. Right? A, B, you were looking for a C. This is broken. Right? So for a continued up move, that would have had to continue, right? One of these levels to go long. Right now, that got broken and it's looking like it's coming down to support for a potential double bottom. It's coming down pretty strong. So if you come here and you look at your higher time frames, we know what was going on here. Huge correction to the downside. We know that, right? To the downside. Okay. So it's been bearish. It's just a matter of, hey, what's the dollar going to do? Risk on, risk off. So you can see on your 4, this is still down. It gave us the slight correction to break the trend line, but it's still moving down now because it's correcting. We're in an up retracement zone. Okay. So what we're looking for is for price to give us that reversal, like we have it drawn here, and to continue to make up ABCD waves. But we never got it. This is the 4. So here's the 382. We ran a tight setup off the 15, which is right here. See here off this B boundary. Okay. This is what you saw on the 15, which was decent. It's a decent move. Okay, it's a decent move. I need to I don't need this here anymore. That was a decent move to the upside, but we just didn't get the continuation. It turned back over. So now it's coming back down to test the support level. Okay, here was that move right there. See that? Off the aggressive trend line. But if you come out like so, and oops. You run it. Now you're like this, see? And we're moving down. We know that the Swissy has been benefiting from risk aversion, okay, because of what was going on with the stock markets and everything, right? Traders becoming more risk averse, hawkish Fed, borrowing costs going up. Okay, so we know we saw the dollar correcting. We saw the bond yield starting to go down first. So we knew the dollar correction was coming. It's just a matter of how far that dollar wants to fall. We know overall it's a hawkish Fed. So we're just in a correction phase right now for the dollar, coupled with some risk aversion. So that Swissy picked up strength, so it's moving down. So we'll see when it gets to this level what starts to happen. So we got the initial burst, but then it just didn't sustain itself. That happens. Okay. So there was no C, right, for this move to the upside. Didn't hold, took out our A, right? As long as price doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go our way. Took out the A on that 15. Took it out. So now we're moving back down. So that move was short-lived. Short-lived. Okay. And now we just wait ahead of tomorrow. Okay. Got it? Awesome. It's a great question that you asked. It's a great question. So now we just wait and support. This is just good old price action. Good old solid price action. Right? We know where we are. Okay? So it may head deeper. You never know. But we know when we get these long impulse moves, price at some point likes to correct. And we love taking advantage of that when we can. And then down. We'll see. We'll see. Ahead of tomorrow. So we go back and we look at the DXY real quick. You can see, look, see that? See how it's breaking it? Okay. Amazing. See? The 4. See, it's starting to break it. We know it's a zone, right? See here, this level here, got to respect that. So we know it's a zone. We just identify with the line. It's in the zone. Okay. So we watch that closely going into tomorrow. Okay. See? Yep, we're on it. We are on it. So just continue to watch it. So we come back, we take a look at that dollar Swiss. See, makes sense. Just follow the price action. Not gonna short now. That's not the play. You want to pull back to a high price. You want to sell high. So you're not gonna short. Even if it pushed all the way down and broke this level, this support level. That's how people get caught. Because a lot of times it's gonna break and it's gonna pull back on you anyway. Okay. So that's why we just trade in certain zones. You follow your trade plan. Okay. Even though sometimes things look juicy, and they might be, if they're not within your trade plan, you gotta stay disciplined. So we'll continue to watch that one. Any questions on the dollar Swiss? All right, here we go. So we're gonna come into the USD JPY. Okay. We say, hey, we got a potential bearish head and shoulders here. Okay, we had that drawn up, the head and shoulders, but look, we're right at this level. Ahead of tomorrow. Things are bouncing around. Things are bouncing around. So we just wait and we see. So now look, remember this range? Beautiful correction. Caught a lot of pips off that correction where it formed this high. Okay. Now if we close out this week right at the lows, then that'll be a new weekly resistance level. But look, we're right back down at support. See how things are falling into place for us? Okay. And this is why you see a lot of other pairs are grinding right to the side a little bit, because what is the dollar going to do? Okay. Everything's pegged to the dollar. What is it going to do? Look here in this range, how we drew this up. Hey, we could be potentially in a range. It doesn't want to break this level. So does it hover around and then finally break through to the downside? Or do we stay in a range, or are we going to get trapped in the range? Okay. All right. So if we come here with the yen, we know that the yen can benefit from the risk off scenario. Yep, we're below 20, but we still got a lot of risk aversion in the market. You know, we got some positive data. That's a demand thing there. We don't see the demand for that oil slowing down. We know they're doing things with Venezuela. Okay. But let me see in some other news here. Retail sales growth for a 4th month. That's good for Australia. There's some news coming out of Japan. I have to find that article. But here we're at this 126.93 level. Look at it. If it holds, could be a push up back to the top of the range. Okay, that range 397 pips. We have to wait. Everything is hinging on what happens with that DXY. Okay. And so if we come to the 1, we see for the most part, got a slight pullback, which you could play that on the 15. You could play that break on the 15. Once you see that AB boundary is almost 100 pips, but we're kind of just hovering around this range at 126.93, just moving sideways. Okay. It's grinding ahead of that moves tomorrow. Critical time for the DXY. We go to the 15. See, this is what I mean. You get a new AB boundary, right? See this push? See that push up? We were playing with this the other night. Sorry, everybody, it's all junky. Let me just clear it out. All right, there was that B boundary right there. You see it. Lower time frames, you're just zooming in. And then you see that break. You can take advantage of that. New AB boundary. B boundary plays, shallow retracement. 118, 127. You can come down to the sweet spot on the 15 and see if you can catch a break. That's the move right there. Now we're just kind of just moving sideways. Right? Haven't done too much. That's where we are. Right? On the dollar pairs. So these are the things that we want to keep an eye on going into Friday. Again, it's the end of the month. We got a holiday. We got the PCE coming out tomorrow. And the dollar is sitting at key support. Okay. So it's just a question of, hey, is it gonna take off again like it did last time? And it's time for the dollar bulls to come back out at that level. Or that's still low. It's moving sideways. Or is it going to continue to push lower? Okay. So this was that previous move here. Here's your low. You want to work your trend lines through the low to identify the reversal. Okay. Oops. Through the low. Okay. To identify that. You can get more aggressive. Or you can drop down to the 5 and get a good inner trend line in on that. But you see how that broke. Okay. So like this, if we go down to the 5 and we scroll back, a little bit of a cleaner look. See, just like so. Boom. Market gave you a swing low of support. That just stop below that low, and there's your move. Okay, there's your move. You didn't get any correction there, but there's your move off the trend line break. Accelerated. That's how you play that inner outer trend line. Okay. Rep it out. Rep it out. Practice on your own. Okay. Practice on your own. Then you see it push down, and it's just moving sideways, just kind of head of the news. It got a little erratic after that, but when you're looking at reward to risk setups and things like that, 2 to 1, 3 to 1, you can measure that out, right? You know where your stop is going to go. Take it off your entry, off the trend line break, then wherever, right? So if you enter somewhere around here, this is for our newbies. I know some of the folks that's been with us for a while know this already, but it's good to cover, right? So if I got an entry there, for example, it's hypothetical, and my stop loss, call it 30 pips, then I'm looking for 60 pips top side for a 2 to 1. Okay, it makes the math real easy. Okay. So that's it. That's what I have for tonight. Short session. I do have time for maybe a couple pairs that we want to take a look at, but I'm kind of just anticipating seeing what's going to happen with the dollar tomorrow, as everything seems to be kind of moving sideways. We'll look at this. What we got? We got the CAD Swiss. You're welcome. ECAD. Okay. Let's take a look at it. This will be good because I actually didn't take a major look at these today. So CAD Swiss. There's your 1 hour. It's grinding. There's your weekly. Starting to show some rejection. You see that zone, right? take everything off. Just look at price action and structure right there. Okay. Past resistance becoming future support on your weekly. Got the huge correction. Risk off mode, right? We saw the oil make the correction. Everybody, when Walmart and everybody started to miss targets, you know, you saw, look, miss forecast. You saw a huge correction, risk off. People became risk averse. Now we're starting to form some lows, starting to get some lows. We've got it already, a swing low, right up against the prior level. Okay, got a swing low. So now, do we want to start to recover? Okay, it's been a bit of a grind. We know that it missed, right? See how it came down to this level? It took it out, but now it's kind of moving sideways, right? So that play, we didn't get what we wanted with the reversal in the zone. Took a stop out, but okay, it may be time. Timing is the tough thing. Okay, so we give our trades room, but hey, it may be time for that to pick back up. But it's all on that risk sentiment. We know that the cash should be making its way up, but we're still kind of in that risk averse environment. I was kind of playing on that to kind of subside a bit, but it went on a little bit longer. But now we're back below the tween mark on the VIXY. So we'll see if that continues to calm down. But that's where that Swissy is gaining most of its strength lately, is from that risk off. But we'll see if it corrects. We're back at that support. Okay, back at that support. We'll see. So that one is, hey, use your confirmations. You may eventually get that to reverse. We know oil is going up, so we'll have to see. We know we're going into the next month, so we'll start to see some of the dollar just broke down below. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look at that real quick. So we just have to wait and see. Well, we'll have to wait and see on this one. But now, right, you just may let it break. Let it break, since it's come all the way back down to the support. Let it break and give you that that further evidence. Let it break and give you a high, and then give you a higher low. Okay, be patient with that one. Okay, be patient, because that came down quite a ways and took out a fib, but it did come right back up against support. Came right back up against support, and it's holding there a little bit. So just continue to watch it. So that's the CAD Swiss, and we had the ECAD. Take a look at that. Okay, just choppy right at that level. We know the euro's been getting a boost because the expected interest rate hike at the June meeting. So you're starting to get that priced in, and so we see it moving. Okay, but now we're right back at this level. So I really don't have a major play on this. Maybe if you get a break back below this 136.88, you get a correction back to the downside. But you have to wait on that. We're right back down here in this range. So that's a tough one. That's a tough one. It's moving up right now, but only way you're gonna get evidence of that is ready to go further upside is if it breaks through these levels, which has had a hard time. So it's been choppy, moving sideways. These are 4-hour candles. Look for maybe a major break, right? Strong bearish candle close, bearish engulfing candle. You get 136.88 back below that. Maybe then we start that correction. Okay, but we didn't quite get to that D extension. All right, so we'll see. This has been a tough zone for it to break through to the upside. All right, so it's moving sideways all over the place. All right, so we got the nice breakdown there. And now I'm just gonna take these out because we're just a bit range bound. We're kind of playing in between as we look on this 15-minute. We're just playing in between the zone right now. We need a breakout below that level, or preferably above this monthly level of 137.87. I know we've got this daily level here, but that's 30 pips, in the range there. So to try to make a play between those levels, I wouldn't do. But you need a break. It keeps stalling at this zone. So look for a break above that. Right now it's in no man's land. It's in no man's land. So I would just wait. I would just wait on that. Go back to the DXY. Oh yeah, strong below that zone. Woo. Wonder what's going on here in the Asian session. Mm-mm-mm. Wow. Let's look, right? So what's happening? Things are starting to happen now. Yeah, further push up. All right. All right. So we'll just wait. We'll just wait. So for those of you that have been long on those plays, good. If you're still in it, you might be out. I know a lot of people only take it those 80-20s to the 382. But hey, it could be setting us up for a good push to a high price for tomorrow. We'll see. Euro USD. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Nice. So we're right at that level. Boom. We might get that D extension. That's all good. It's all good. Just let it go. Let it go. Use your confirmations, right? Look how it's just riding up that trend line. Thanks for alerting me on that. Wow. I have to read up tonight. It's a good move. And read some articles on that what analysts are thinking about this PCE tomorrow too, report. Because it is important. It is important. So maybe, just maybe it's setting us up for the high price. We got to break above there. Ooh, it's gonna be interesting tomorrow. Yeah, buddy. Hey, look at the GU. I'm not long anymore on any of these ahead of tomorrow. So if you are still holding longs, you're making out big. That's gonna hit that D extension there. It's gonna hit a D extension. So we know naturally at some point you get a correction. All right. So we might have some fireworks tomorrow. Let's see. Man, that's a strong move at almost 10 o'clock at night on the dollar figure. Moved a little bit. Well, I'm gonna take a look at crude before we close out. Look at that. This has been a forever trade. But it's straight moving up. 116.53 key level. See if it can snap it. No sleep, maybe. Save my alarms. London will be busy. I think so. It's going to be quite interesting tomorrow. That's why I wanted to cover those pairs. Man, it broke that level tonight. Let's look at this. I'm going to go over this one too, but. Oh, I am going to move this out. Force a break on that. Okay, let's go. All right. Can't call anything just yet. I know my little Walmart setup here is steady climbing off that zone. So that's good. That one's gonna be a while. Let's set up. Let's look at got a little bit of a rally. Right, we saw that in the reports. Rallied a bit. That's cool. So we'll see as it goes back and retest that 410 level on the SPY. There now, don't need that. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Head of the holiday. We'll see how we go into the holiday weekend tomorrow. Well, that is it for me tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an awesome week. You all have been amazing. You all have been amazing. Despise the S&P 500, SPY XPX. So, yeah. All right. Keep your eyes on your charts. And we'll see what happens tomorrow, 8:30. We got that core PCE, so we'll see. We'll see what the forecast is, 0.3%. We'll see if it comes in above, below, right on. Have a good evening, everybody. Oh, Saturday, right? 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be right back for the weekly ritual, getting set up for the next week. Show doesn't stop. Have a good night, everybody. You're welcome.
Thank you.